Hayley Mills is remembered as one of the most beloved child stars of her generation, a face that defined warmth, innocence, and charm during the golden age of family cinema. Audiences around the world fell in love with her radiant performances, especially in films that carried the magic of Walt Disney Productions. But behind that glowing image was a young girl navigating pressure, expectations, and emotions far beyond her years. While fans celebrate her early career as a joyful time, Hayley herself carries a more complex memory of those years. Among all her performances, there is one television episode from 1961 she refuses to revisit, a quiet reminder that even the brightest moments on screen can hide deeply personal struggles behind the scenes. Growing up in a world of creativity. Born in London, Hayley was raised in a household rich with artistic influence. Her father, John Mills, was a respected figure in British cinema, while her mother, Mary Hayley Bell, brought literary depth into their home. Creativity was not just encouraged, it was part of everyday life. From a young age, Hayley was surrounded by storytelling, performance, and imagination. This environment naturally shaped her path toward acting, giving her both inspiration and opportunity. Yet, growing up in such a family also meant expectations were quietly present. She wasn't just exploring a passion, she was stepping into a legacy. This blend of encouragement and pressure would later influence how she experienced fame and success at such a young age. A remarkable rise to stardom. Hayley's talent became evident early when she starred in Tiger Bay, earning critical acclaim and recognition far beyond her years. Her natural ability to convey emotion set her apart instantly. Soon after, her collaboration with Walt Disney Productions began, marking a defining era in her career. Films like Pollyanna and The Parent Trap made her an international sensation. In particular, her dual role in The Parent Trap showcased a level of skill rarely seen in young actors. She became a symbol of joy and optimism, admired by audiences of all ages. However, this rapid rise also meant stepping into a demanding world where expectations grew quickly, and the line between personal identity and public image began to blur. The weight of being perfect. During the early 1960s, Hayley was not just an actress, she was seen as the ideal Disney star. This image came with immense pressure. At just 14, she felt responsible for meeting the expectations of studios, audiences, and even her own family. She later described this period as both exciting and overwhelming. Behind the scenes, she was juggling intense schedules, long working hours, and constant public attention. There was little room to simply be a teenager. The expectation to always appear cheerful and composed created a quiet, emotional strain. While audiences saw effortless charm, Hayley often felt anxious and unsure. This pressure to maintain perfection would later shape her perspective on certain moments from her early career, including the episode she now avoids watching. The episode that stayed with her, in 1961, during the height of her rising fame, Hayley filmed a lesser-known television episode. Unlike her celebrated film roles, this project captured her during a particularly exhausting and emotionally fragile period. She has openly shared that she was overwhelmed, working non-stop, and struggling to keep up with the demands placed on her. When she looks back at still images from that episode, she doesn't see a confident young star. She sees someone tired, anxious, and trying to hold it together. For her, the episode represents more than just a performance. It reflects a moment when she felt disconnected from herself. That emotional memory has made it difficult for her to revisit the work, as it brings back feelings she would rather leave behind. A performance filled with doubt. Another reason Hayley avoids the episode lies in how she views her own performance. At the time, she felt unprepared for the emotional depth required by the script. Unlike her more natural and playful roles, this project demanded a level of maturity she didn't feel ready to deliver. She has admitted that she doubted herself deeply, worrying that she wasn't good enough or experienced enough. These insecurities, common in adolescence, were intensified by the professional environment she was in. Watching the episode now would mean confronting those self-doubts again. It's not about criticism from others, it's about how she felt inside. That vulnerability, frozen in time on screen, is something she chooses not to relive. A stark contrast to her brightest role. What makes this episode even more difficult for Hayley is its contrast with The Parent Trap. While the film showcased her at her most confident and beloved, the episode reflected a much more uncertain side of her life. To audiences, she appeared joyful, energetic, and full of life. But behind the scenes, she was navigating exhaustion and emotional pressure. This contrast creates a disconnect that feels deeply personal. Watching the episode would be like seeing a hidden version of herself that the world never truly saw. It's a reminder that public success doesn't always align with private experience. For Hayley, this difference is what makes the memory so uncomfortable. Life beyond childhood innate. As Hayley grew older, she successfully transitioned into more mature roles, proving her versatility as an actress. Films like The Trouble with Angels and television projects, such as The Flame Trees of Thika, showed her ability to evolve beyond her child star image. She continued to work in theater, film, and television, building a career defined by resilience and adaptability. Unlike many child actors, she managed to maintain a lasting presence in the industry. Her later work reflects a deeper understanding of her craft and herself. This growth also allowed her to look back on her early years with perspective, recognizing both the achievements and the challenges that shaped her journey: love, relationships, and personal growth. Hayley's personal life also played a significant role in shaping her experiences. Her relationship with Roy Bolting marked an important chapter, though it came with its own complexities. Later relationships, including her partnership with Ferdous Bamji, brought stability and companionship. Through these experiences, she navigated the challenges of balancing public life with personal fulfillment. Motherhood added another dimension to her life, grounding her in ways that fame never could. These personal journeys helped her grow beyond the pressures of early stardom, allowing her to build a life that felt more authentic and balanced. Why some memories stay untouched. In the end, Hayley Mills' decision to avoid that 1961 episode is not about regret, it's about self-preservation. She acknowledges its place in her career, but chooses not to revisit the emotions tied to it. For her, it represents a moment of vulnerability, exhaustion, and uncertainty during a time when she was still finding herself. Some things don't need to be relived, she has said, reflecting a quiet wisdom that comes with time. Her story reminds us that even the most cherished public moments can hold private meanings. Sometimes, the healthiest choice is to honor the past without reopening it. And in doing so, she continues to protect the person she was while embracing the woman she has become.